I've got a really nice short one here. Okay, so this is the 13th of December 2024. This one, and we'll probably call it something like medical examination or something like that. I'll call it. And so it was just a brief dream. It was a brief dream, but it's just kind of interesting. I thought I'd put it in there. So brief dream. So it may be something. It may be nothing at all. Okay. So I'm saying that up front. Okay. So this one started where I was at home. So I was in my own home, and there was one or two people doing tests on me. I was lying down in kind of like a dentist chair, kind of lying down and tilted back and stuff like that. And I had somebody next to me who was doing the medical examination, and as far as I knew in the dream, there was nothing wrong with me. So I didn't know whether it was like some sort of a routine examination. But they had, so to the side of me, they had like a screen that they were looking at, and looking at test results and stuff like that. So it was almost like they were looking at X-rays, or they'd done an ultrasound or something. But it seems a bit weird if it was an ultrasound, because I would have imagined that I would have kind of experienced that in some way. It was almost more like an X-ray had happened. Well, and they were waiting for the results to come back. And the results were in. I'm not sure if there'd been any kind of blood work either. There may well have been some blood work that was done. I'm not actually 100% sure. But the one who was testing me was looking at this screen, and then suddenly was like, "Whoa!" Like really startled. And I saw there was there was other people there was some other men that were wandering around the house as well at the same time. And I asked what was up, and I was told in the dream, I was told, it was you have something that 1 out of 100 people in the world actually have. And I was, but it's a positive thing, nothing bad, really, really good. And then I kind of woke up, because obviously I was thinking, well, 1 in 100's got this. I don't know if I like the sound of that, but this was no. This is really good, really good. So again, I didn't know it was like a super rare blood type or something like that, but it was almost like she was telling me on like the hush hush kind of thing. It was kind of like I've seen what you've got. You've got something that's special, really special, and only 1 in 100 people have got it. And so I woke up, and my thoughts were straight away that what she was talking about was, the impression I got immediately was that she was actually talking about the Holy Spirit. That you've got something that 1 in 100 people actually have. And then I worked that out. So I kind of like, right, a certain amount of people in the world, 1 in 100. Let's say that if we rounded it up to say 8 billion, I was like, oh, that's only like 8 million people in the world. That's quite depressing, and I felt quite sad actually in a way. Like if the stats are really that low, that only 8 million in the world have that, and to be honest, when I did look that up, I thought that can't be right. I don't think it's that low. That seems too low to me. 1%. Well, 1 in 100 is 1%, isn't it? That just seems ridiculously low. But again, don't read into anything that I think I'm like special in any way. That wasn't it at all. I don't know whether that was. I may well have been, praying for confirmation on things and bits and pieces like that. Possibly, I don't know. I didn't write any kind of context around it as to whether there was anything I was specifically praying for or anything like that around the time. But that's what came out of it. It was like you've got something in you that only 1 in 100 people actually have. So okay. Sounds good. Yeah. So that was it. So as I said, I told you it was going to be a very, very short one. I wanted to get it in within 5 minutes. This one. So just so I can say I can get them in under 30 minutes. There's been a couple that I've done of about 15, but equally I've done 1 hour and 2 hour ones. So it just depends on the length of the dream, obviously. So that's just a little bit of a quick one. Or should I add a little bit extra on? No, I'm going to do this other one that I can see. I'll do that. I'll do that as a separate video, I think. So yeah, we'll just keep this nice and short. Okay. Thanks for your time. Hopefully you found that just kind of a little bit interesting. Maybe it kind of sparks your own kind of curiosity. I wonder how many people are truly saved. I wonder. What is that number? It says obviously that few find the narrow gate. You know which is the narrow path to get into heaven. Very few find it. But again, that does sort of sound a little bit braggy, doesn't it, from me saying it from that point of view? I'm not, as I said, I'm not saying my journey. I imagine is very similar to a lot of other people who have become believers, and I value my past really. And my past has put me exactly where I am right now, so I wouldn't change any of it. So despite obviously having things that I regret, of course, things I've done that I regret that I did. It led me, I'm here, I'm here, and I'm in a position that I would never ever want to change. So I'm very happy. Thank you for the brief little dream there. Okay, I'll get another one to you probably tomorrow. Not that you're probably waiting for every single dream that comes out anyway, but I'm quite keen to get through as many of these dreams as I possibly can, get them all logged, and then I'll be just maybe dropping in a dream once a week or something like that, rather than like five a day. Once I'm up to date with them, and there may be some that I just don't include. I just found this as a little bit of it was like a little curious kind of, just a little bit of an interesting little nugget I felt. Okay, I will see you again soon.